learned to do this one today, and the first thing I did was, well, here, I'll let you have a look at some of the things that we're going to do. It's a nice little painting, and you can make changes to it or do whatever you want. You can just follow along with me and don't worry about getting exactly the same colors and everything. So there it is there. So you want to take a picture of it so that you can follow it, have something in front of you. There it is. Okay, now that's 11 by 14 canvas. And I just taped it off a little over halfway just so we can work on the sky. And I just have my handy dandy brushes here. So I have my big bristle brush, and I have a medium, smaller one here. So the other one is about 1/2 inch, and this one's probably smaller than 1/2 inch. And I'll go through the brushes as we go along. So right now, just use your big bristle brush. And the only paint that you need right now is blue and white and a little bit of red. Let's put a little bit of red there just to give it a little bit of excitement in our sky. So then all you have to do then is take your paint, and let's put on some blue paint on the sky. So tap off the water, put your brush in water and tap it off so it's damp. And then just take some blue and take some white, and let's get a nice light blue for the tops, for the sky. So look, lots of white. See how nice that is? I'm going to add a little tiny bit of red. Just give it a little bit of oomph. There we go. That's all. Just a nice bright bluish color. So you pick the color whatever you want. Let's just paint the whole top of the canvas. Go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Long strokes. Good. And then we'll just go with some more paint. So you may have to load a few times. Lots of paint and back and forth. So go underneath what you just did. And as you're coming down, long strokes, back and forth. And as you're coming down, we can lighten it up a little bit. So as you're coming down, add a bit more white to that blue mixture that you made. A little, make it lighter. There we go. Back and forth, long strokes. And that will help blend everything together really nice with the long strokes. Because if you do short, quick strokes like that, you're just going to get, you know, that. But long strokes will blend everything together in your sky. Good. Some nice long strokes. Now pick up more white. Just mix it in with your blue, and that makes it really bright. And you get it lighter down on the bottom, because the sky is darker on top than it is on the bottom. There we go. So now, if you want to add more white to the bottom, you can certainly do that too. Good. So now if you're happy with your sky, you certainly can leave it like that. Or you can always add a little bit of more blue on the corners to give it a bit of a darker color. You don't have to, but you can add a little bit of darkness up here in the corners just to give it some depth. And a little bit of red in it gives it that purplish look to it, which is nice. I find that if you put purple in your paintings, somewhere in your paintings, it looks really pretty. It really brightens them up and makes them look, gives it a really nice color. So far we have that done. So that's good. Now, there's the sky here. Now see the corners of the sky up there are a little darker. So why don't we put a little more dark in the sky? Okay, let's do that. Up in the corners only, I think is good. So you always, if you're going by a picture or something, you know, you look at the picture and say, okay, if I like those colors in the corner, I'll do it. If you don't like them or you want to change it, go right ahead. But let's just put a little bit of darkness up in that corner there, just because. Because you could see that it gives it more depth and it looks kind of nice. So I find the more layers of paint, the better. You know, it really adds nice to your paintings. Gives, like, instead of just one plain blue, it's nice to have extra colors in there. And you always look for 3 values of colors. I find that's good too. So you got dark, medium, and light. So you can get dark, medium, light. You'll get really nice shapes and dipped. So we're going to be doing that throughout these paintings. This painting, we're going to be looking for depth through our values. So we'll just blend that in there. All right, I got to reach over, so kind of, there we go. So we'll just give that a, that looks nice. So that's nice. So now let's do our, so whenever you're doing a painting, have a look at the background first. So the background first, and I like to work in stages, so that's just the way I like to work. So as you can see, the background up here behind the trees and behind the clouds is the sky. So we do the sky first. Now what's next is the clouds. So your clouds will be next. So let's try and put in a couple of nice little clouds. Well, then we'll do the trees. So the clouds, all you have to do is take your dirty brush, is fine, and you just tap it into some white, and then what you're going to do is you're going to tap the corner. Let's tap the corner of the brush into the brush. Just tap the corner. See? Well, it's a little bit around, but I worked on the corner there, so I'm going to work on the corner of the brush. So pick a spot where you want your cloud. We have one over here. Just make a line over here for just a line. Don't even worry about it. Just make that line just so that you can see where you want to put your cloud, okay? And then just take your brush and tap on top of what you just did. Now, because the paint is still wet, it's not showing up very well. So we may have to wait for that to dry, but we're just going to tap on, tap, 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 tap. Tap on a little cloud right there, that's all. So, like I said, the paint is wet, so it's absorbing the paint. And if I could get a close-up, that would be nice. So we'll wait for that to dry a little bit, and then we'll go back over it again. So I'm going to do another one on the other side. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the shadow color, the sky color, and I'm going to put that on my brush. You can use the corner, and I'm going to take another line. I'm just going to bring a line over. Like I said, it's pretty close to the color of the sky. If you want to get that line darker, you can always put a darker line there. You don't have to, but just a line just to show you where you're going to have your cloud, that's all. And then tap off your brush into your white again. Tap into the white, and this is the brush that I use for the sky. Same brush. I don't know if I mentioned that to you. So just tap, again, tap a nice big fluffy cloud right on top of that line that you just made. Now, like I said, the paint is wet. We may have to wait for it to dry a bit. And you can go back in again and try to lighten it up on top of that. But if the paint is too wet and is absorbing the paint, then we'll wait for it to dry and we'll come back and do that again. Okay, so you bring it out a little bit on the edge here just to, so that sky clouds are there. Good. So if you want to, you can take that bottom line and just blend it in with the sky rather than have a big old blue line there, or a color, whatever color line you put there. Just blend it in, blend the bottom of the clouds in with the sky. Gives it a softer look. Now, what we're going to do next are the trees. So all we need is some green paint. Now, if you don't have the same colors I have, just use any color green, any color blue, whatever you have on hand. If you're into the tube paints, you can use ultramarine blue, you can use cad red, or sap green, cad yellow. You know, they're the most popular colors. Burnt umber, raw umber, burnt sienna, all those are really popular colors. So I'm just going to put some green on my palette, and I'm going to take my green, I'm going to take the same brush that I just used for the sky, and we are going to put on those distant trees. Now see the trees? You can see the trees in the background. They're faded. See how they're faded? Behind. So we're going to go and do those trees. The ones that are behind are faded. Okay, see them? Alright, not the ones in the front, the ones in the back. Now, let's give that a try. So what we're going to do is take some green paint and a bit of blue, bit of green and a bit of blue to give me a bluish color, because the bluish color gives it distance, and then some white to brighten it up. So if it's too much on the green side, we want to get a little bit on the blue side, alright? So then add a bit of white, so you got a greenish bluish color, and add white to brighten that up till we get the color we're looking for. Let's try that. You know, probably not going to be the exact same color as the trees we already have done, but that's okay. So let's go with just very lightly tapping on this color. Now that's kind of on the green side. It'd be nicer if it was on the blue side a little bit more. These are in the background, so you don't have to worry. I'm tapping very lightly. I'm not pushing really hard. I'm just tapping lightly because I don't want them to be too dark, or I just want them to be in the background. So I'm just tap, 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 tap. Alright, so anyway, let's see detail. But let's just go across here with our trees. So a bit of blue, bit of green, bit of red, and you get a nice dark green without having to use black. I like using black sometimes, but other times it doesn't, it just doesn't give a nice color. So let's go right across here with this. Tap, 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 right across. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. So now you got some nice bushes on the bottom. See those bottom bushes there? Now we're going to do is, there's some nice trees over here. The big tree here and a few taller trees over here. Okay. Alright, so I want you to see that. So let's try that. So let's take our same colors. Green and blue and red. Green and blue and red. It can be sap green, ultramarine blue, and cad red if you want to use those colors. Okay, I'm just using the bottle paints. Find it easier to work with when I'm doing some videos. So let's get some taller trees. Just put a few taller trees. One here is fine. Maybe one here. Just very lightly tapping. I don't want to push too hard because I want to get some shapes. Maybe that big one right here. Just go back and forth, make it nice and fat. Good. Just shape it up as a tree. Good. We'll be doing some more shaping of that now after. And then just tap over and bring up another tree maybe here. So you do whatever you want. I'm just showing you some things that I did, and then you can make up your own trees in the way you want them. There we go. Come up with your tree, and another tree, and a few little ones over here. Good. Maybe a couple little ones in between there. You can probably throw in a couple, whatever's left over on your brush, just throw them in between here. Throw them in between the brush. Whatever's left over, don't get any more paint. Good. Now, what we're going to do now is we'll do some highlights in a minute, but while we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, why don't we take our tape off? Let's take our tape off. There we go. Good. We'll do some highlights on those trees. While we're waiting to do some highlights on the trees, we will make, what we'll do next is some water here. So we'll do that water here. So just get a piece of chalk or a pencil or something that you can use just to draw a line across so you know how far down you want to go. So I'm just going to take a piece of chalk and I'm just going to decide where I want to have, so it's around here. So we'll take that line and put it over here. If you want to use chalk or tape, whatever you want to use. And let's just put the water in here now. So you can use a fan brush or you can use a flat brush. You can try both just to see how they work. It's nice to play with your brushes. I'm just going to use the fan brush for now. So we'll just put the water in. And the water is pretty simple. You're still going to add some blue paint, a little bit of white to lighten it up a bit. It's a bit dark, so just lighten it up with some white paint. And if you have to bring it over somewhere else, if it won't lighten up for you, just move on another side of your palette to get it to lighten up. There we go, that's nice and light. And just come back and forth with your brush, back and forth, and you get some nice water. I find a fan brush is good. That's the fan brush technique, and I'll even try the flat brush for you in case, you know, you need to follow along. So here's a flat brush technique next to the fan brush. See? So you can use either. I find the fan brush gives me better strokes. Let's see. There we go. You can still use the flat brush. Same, you know, basically the same. I just like using the fan brush. That's just me. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on there. And we'll go back and forth with our strokes, and we'll try to get, you know, some movement in the water, a little bit. We don't need very much. Come up under your trees. There we go, and just go back and forth. Back and forth. Get your water on there. Now, it's not too hard. You can even add a little bit of white to your blue. Like separate the paint. See how I got some blue and white, and then come back on here, and then you'll get a bit of a separation in color, which will then make it look like the water has some ripples on it. Alright, so take some blue and some white. Oh, where are you? There you are. And go back and forth. Oops. Back and forth. And that way you will get two separate colors of paint, and you'll get your values, 3 values, maybe all in one stroke. There we go. Good. So, paint one side white, or just put it on together, but don't mix it. And then when you get it on here, just let the paint separate itself. And that way you get some nice ripples in the water. See? You didn't have to do much work at all. How easy is that? Just one stroke painting. Now, so we have some water. Now what we need is that little piece of land back there. That's what we're going to do next, little piece of land. How's that? Okay, can you see it? There it is. Alright, what we're going to do there is get some burnt umber. Get your burnt umber, and when you get your burnt umber, we're going to try it with a couple of different techniques. I want to show you as much techniques as I can so that you can learn. So I'm going to show you, you can use your fan brush, just put some brown on one side. I always like to put my paint on with some extra colors, you know. I like to just experiment. So I'm just putting some brown, and same what I do with the blue, just some brown and some yellow. And I'm going to, this technique with the fan brush, you can take it and pull over for your land. You put highlights on that after, but still you got this the separation of colors. There we go. Now let's try the flat brush. You pick whatever brush that you like when we experiment with the brushes. So I'm just using this flat sable brush, the chiseled edge, and same thing, some brown and a little bit of yellow. Brown and yellow. And I'm just going to bring that over. Ooh, I haven't got a very steady hand today. And you can bring that over. And one more technique that I'll show you is to take your, let's take the palette knife. Now there's different shape palette knives. You can also use different shapes. Maybe one like this. Mine are pretty dirty. I've used them, you know, I use them a lot and I got paint on them. So that's the different shapes, and you can take your palette knife and you can just run it through some brown and some yellow. Like I said, I'm using the bottle paint, so they're pretty, you know, they're pretty smooth there, and tube paints might stick better. So just take your palette knife and lay it down and pull over. So that's just 3 different ways that you can make your land. And so you pick the one that you like the best. Tap, tap, tap on our grass. Go back and get more paint if you need it. Mix up your colors that you like. Nice dark green. Yeah, so now you're down here, you get it even darker. So, because grass is lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. Now, and water is lighter at the top and darker at the bottom, and the sky is darker at the top and lighter at the bottom. Isn't that cool? Isn't that the coolest thing you ever heard? So just tap, 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 tap. Yep. So we'll be putting highlights on it up here. We're putting the path in here. We're putting the house, trees. So don't worry about any of that right now. We'll work. You can put on your house first if you want. Then you got to work around it. So you can certainly do that. You can work around your house. But it wouldn't be any sense putting your tree on first. It'd be too hard to work around it. Your path you can put on first. You can put your house and your path on first if you like. And work around it. I find this technique, for me, it works for me. And it could be wrong. I don't know. Like other artists do certain things different ways. You can have a look at all the videos and see what ways other people do things. And then you can come up to your own solution, what works for you. That's how I did it. I looked at lots of videos and books and all kinds of stuff. And then I decided, you know, this is the way I want to do it. This is what works for me. Because there's no real, I was going to say there's no real right or wrong ways, but it would be nice to know the color mixing and what colors go nice together and the complementary colors, and you know, get used to some of the colors, and all that helps. Make sure it'll make your painting prettier. Make your painting as pretty as you can. Depending on what kind of paintings you want to do too, don't forget. I mean, you might be an abstract, I don't know, you know, and trying to pick up some techniques from all kinds of things. So I don't do abstracts. Can't seem to get into it, you know. Just because you're an artist and you know how to do, I could do drawings, all kinds of things, but I got to like what I do. I can't just do it for the sake of doing it. You gotta love it. You don't want to do this painting if this is not what you want to do. If you'd rather do an abstract. You know, you can look at this video, but you can also, but you can also, you know, not have to paint along with me. But if you want to paint along with me, you guys seem to be enjoying it, the ones who are painting along with me, and I'm so happy to hear your stories, and you just share so much with me. I just love getting your emails, and I love getting your paintings that I can look at and put them on my Facebook page. It's just so enjoyable hearing from you guys, and this is what makes me want to keep going too. So thank you very much. So now we got just tap, 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 tap. See how nice and dark and green that is? Because you added blue. We didn't add black, we just added blue and a little bit of red and green, and the nice pretty color it came out, nice and earthy. So there we go. That's that much done. Now let me see what else we got to do. Now I have to refer back to my painting. So there's the painting. So what can we do next? Let me see. Well, really, I have to dry that before I can put the house on. So what I'll do while I'm waiting for it to dry, we'll probably do some highlights on the back trees and a few things that we need to do there. So we'll move on to a few other things just to let that dry a bit. So what we can do is we can take our, let's take a medium brush this time. This one is smaller than the other one, the size 12. This one's probably size 8. And it's bristle, and you make it damp, don't make it too wet. I made it too wet a couple of times, and it's so what I'm going to do is take a bit of green and a bit of yellow, make it lighter, and we'll have to decide where we want the light to come in. So let's see where the light is coming in on this painting. It looks like the light is coming from the right because the shadow's behind those trees. See the shadow coming over to the left of the, coming over to behind the trees, over towards the left, and you see the right hand side of the trees are lighter. That's where the light's coming in. So we'll, and then light hit off over here. I got a shadow there now, sorry. So the light hit over there in the corner and hitting off the trees. So we'll hit the light from on the right side of the trees. So here's the right side of the trees. Maybe the light hit over here. So just tap on that right side of that tree. Tap, tap, tap very gently, very light. There we go. Just on that light side, and whatever's left over in your brush, you can move it around a little bit. Now, we'll do it again. Good. And we'll try a little bit here. Maybe a bit of light over on this side. Just over here on the side. And on this side, I'm tapping very gently. I'm not pushing very hard at all. And this one here, I'm going to lighten up a little bit more. I wonder how far down I got to go with that. Let's see. See? I forgot already. Okay, we have some smaller bushes in front of those big trees. We'll make them look like they're behind these smaller bushes in front. So let's just do the top side here. Come down about halfway. And we'll do this one in here. Just the right side. The right side. And the right side. Good. Clean off your brush really good. And just whatever is left on your brush, just move that paint around just a little bit so that the back side of your tree don't look flat and doesn't look like there's, you know, you want some kind of shapes there. Okay, so good. Good, good. Now, hopefully you can see that. Go. This camera tends to focus a bit too much, and I don't know how to stop it, so hopefully you can see that. Alright. Now what we'll do is we will put the little bushes in the front of those trees. So we'll just get a little bit of darker paint, and let's go with the green, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red again, and darken that up a little bit, just so we can just separate those trees from the bushes in the front. And then we'll highlight those bushes a little bit then. Just tap, 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 just a few little bushes in the front, just tap, tap, tap. A lot of this painting is just tap, tap, tap. It's not too hard. Alright, so we just take those bushes and tap them in there. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. That's good. Now, all you got to do now is take some yellow and on your dirty brush and tap it off in your tissue. We don't want too much. And just put a little bit of highlight on top of those bushes you just did. A little bit of yellow. You can make even some colors if you want. You can make little red bushes if you like. You can make little yellow bushes if you like. Just tap on the very top, that's all. The very, very top. Whoops. Okay. That's alright. That's okay. There we go. So we'll just tap on some color. Even a little bit of white just brightens up a little bit too. So I'm just changing the picture a little bit now because I want to put a few little colors in there. So just put a little bit of color. You don't need much. Just tap whatever's left over on your brush. Just tap on the bottom of those bushes. Come across. Add a little bit of yellows if you want. There we go. Just to bring it all together. Just a little bit of color, that's all. So what we're going to do now is, well, we got into that for 10 minutes. Okay, we'll just go another 5 minutes or so. So what we'll do is we will tap on some bushes, green and blue again with the red, get the dark color, and tap on Let's see. Yeah, so we'll just tap on some of these nice little bushes here in the front. How's that? Okay, so they're on the other side of the house. So we'll think our house is going around here, and our path is coming out around here. So we'll stay around here. So take your brush and a bit of green and blue, and just put some of these little tap, tap, tap again. So just bring up that grass that you already have there. Bring it up a little bit. And little round bushes. Will you turn them into some flowers and different things that you want there. Tap the bottom of that right into your grass. That's it. That's it. Tap, 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 tap. Now you got some little nice little... And over on the other side of the house, you got a few little trees there. So keep going with the blue and the red and the green. So you got those bushes done, and the house is there. So on the side of the house, sorry about that, guys. On the side of the house, you'll see some trees over there. So let's put a few little trees over there. And we will leave a little space for our house, because we can always fill it in. Well, let's just put a few trees in here. Just tap, tap, a few little trees. Just tap. That's it. We don't need much there. Good. Now we'll do a few little flowers on here, and then when I come back, what we'll do is, did we miss that? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do that again. Okay, so to put a few little trees there, you just use your blue and green and red, and then tap, tap, and tap. Okay? That's all. Sorry about that. I'm telling you, I might be able to get to do this full through without getting my camera to move on me. So, okay. Now, so take the same small bristle brush and take some different colors. So let's start off with some red. And just tap on top of those bushes you just made. Just tap on. I say add a little bit of white to your red to brighten it up. How about that? Good. And then put some more here and here. We'll spread them out so that you can leave some room for other colors. And here. And here. Good. So that's a few little flowers there. You just tap very gently with your... Right. And then you can put some little yellow. Let's put some green bushes in between that. So we got green here. Good. Little green bushes. Nice. Good. And then you can put some yellow in there if you like. Some yellow next to the red, probably around here. So just put in a few colors, whatever you want there you can put in, okay? Here is a charcoal pencil, charcoal white. I love it. So you can take this and you can draw out your house. So your house looks like this. This is the painting we're going by. Okay, this is the one that Tanny wanted me to show how to do it. So we're getting there. I put a little bit more color in the background there. It's not on this, but you don't have to have it. Just make dark green bushes. Now that little house right here, we're going to try and do one. You can make different shape houses. It's up to you. So I'm just going to lay that down here, and we're going to draw it. I started to draw it so I would save you time. So I'm just putting my roof over here, just a straight line. And let's see if you can see that. And then a straight line, and then a line diagonal out to the right, and a diagonal line out to the left. Good. And then a line coming down from the outer edge, and a line coming down. Now, that's simple. And then you just take these two lines and come over for your roof. Now, it's not straight, but I'll straighten it up when I paint it, okay? So there's your little house. And now you can decide where you want your path. So your path comes down from the house. And it's coming down. So you make a decision where you want your path. And you can probably draw. So we'll just take this. And we'll draw a line where the house, the door is going to be here somewhere. So we'll just take the path, start off the size of the door, and then you come down, and then as you're coming down, you can bring it right over here, right over. And then this other side path can follow down and widen out a little bit at the bottom, like that. Okay, good. So now let's see what we can do with our house. So it looks to me like we need a red roof. So get a small flat or a small flat brush. That's actually a filbert brush, but I'm going to get a small flat brush. And you want it to be chiseled edged. Maybe this one might be better. And if it's chiseled edged, that's even better. So this is synthetic. And what you're going to do is take some red paint, and we're going to add a little bit of brown to the red. A bit of brown, a bit of red. Okay, that'll darken up your red a little bit, so we can make it more opaque. Okay. So just put your brown, your reddish color on there. Now you can have any colors you want, okay? You don't have to be exactly like mine. And just bring it over. And with your chalk, that will help guide you, keep you inside the lines. And the edge. And over. Now we're going to need a couple of coats. So we'll just do that first. Okay. So work on your roof. And you need to shape it up or anything like that. You can do that as you go along. As you can see, I have a little hard time sometimes, but I'm not going to worry about it. I can always go back and do some more work with it. Now I find that my roof is not quite as nice as this one. So why don't we bring that line down a bit further? How's that? Let's bring that line down a little bit further. Maybe down to here. If that don't work, we'll go back and bring it down further. But I think that should do it. So let's see. There we go. Okay. Let's try that. So I'll go back for some red and brown. Red and brown. There we go, red and brown. It can be burnt umber and cad red or crimson red or whatever you have on hand. There's no sense if you see me paint and I talk about colors and what I have, and then you say, oh, I wish I could do that painting. I can't do it because I don't have burnt umber. Just use any brown, and if your brown is too light, just add a little bit of black to it, or you know, or something to darken it, darker color, a bit of blue. So don't worry, whatever you got on hand, just because you're only having a bit of fun right now and you're practicing and you're trying to get trying to learn, and you can only learn so much at one time. I mean, for me to try to explain to you color theory as I'm going along, you're better off going to other videos and learning color theory. That way you can concentrate on what you're doing one thing at a time, right? Okay, so if we need to shape up that roof later, we will. I'm just going to play around with it for a few seconds. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I don't want to get you bored. You guys are so good to me. All those beautiful comments. I read them and read them. And I try to answer everybody. If I forget to answer or something, you get lost in my emails, please email me back and tell me that, you know. So don't mind emailing me and reminding me that I didn't email you or something. So let's go with some white down there on the bottom of the house. Like I say, you can have your roof even more. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of blue to my white. Just because. I might even add a little bit of red. I don't know, I'm just playing. So, it's a bit too much red, so I'm going to add a bit of white. Goodness gracious, what am I doing? Now you can see through that, okay, because the green is coming through. That's why sometimes it's better to do your house first, but then you have to work around it. But so if you feel that you're not getting, if you got to go over the colors several times because you can see through it, then you can also paint your house first, put some tape over it so the paint won't go into it, and then paint around it. I probably could show you that sometime. So I'll let that go there like that, and then we'll do the path while we're waiting for that to dry. So you move on whenever you're waiting for a part to dry and you don't want to dry it with a hairdryer. You don't want to be getting up all the time and drying it with a hairdryer. Just move on to another piece until it dries, because acrylics are really fast to dry, so you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait very long. Okay, so now for your path, let's see if we can get something of that color. So that color there on the path, we're going to look at the underpainting first. And the underpainting first is, we'll say brown and red. Brown and red and a bit of blue. Okay, a bit of brown, a bit of red, and a bit of blue. And a bit of white to brighten it up a small bit. Okay. That'll be just the start of our path. And we'll be putting highlights on it. So take your brush, your flat chiseled edge brush, and just go back and forth like this. Back and forth, back and forth. Stay horizontal. Stay horizontal. Don't follow that chalk. Go around a circle. Okay, let's get some more color. So the smaller one goes here. So just take your brush and touch. Let's see what's going to happen. And pull up. Even if you run out of paint, it's okay. And then as you get up closer to the trees, then you can pull your your brush to the side. So you start off with the flat brush, and you come up. I know you can hear an ambulance outside. Somebody must be having a bad day. I hate hearing ambulances. Okay, so then we have another tree on the other side. Start off flat and come up, right almost to the top. Good. And then we'll do another coat if we have to, okay? Because with the paint comes off your brush when you get almost all the way up there. So touch and pull up. Touch and pull up. We'll fill that in now as we go along. So at least we get that much started. And now we're going to do, what you're going to need now is a liner brush. So get the liner brush, and I had one ready here. Nice long liner brush. Here it is. Trying to hide on me. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our liner brush and make those little twigs. And so just get the same color, brown on one side and black on the other. Or you can use whatever colors you want, as long as they're dark. Okay, so then you just take your brush and fill it up with paint. And then we are going to take our brush and take it and pull out. Take it. Now let's get these done first, and then we'll put the little ones on top. And then there's another one right here. And if your paint won't move, just add a bit of water to your paint. Good. And then we're going to add another one up here. And need some dark paint. And another one out here. Good. Just pull them out, that's all, and wiggle them around a little bit. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that tree. Okay, and then on this tree we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter. We just put them on there. Don't have to be exact. Okay, so we'll put that on there. Pull out. Then pull out another one on this side. Good. And then we'll pull out another one up here. Good. And we'll pull out another one under here somewhere. Touch and pull. Good. And let's see what one up here. Oops. Up here. And another one on the other side. Good. I think I'm going to have to stand up. There we go. Good. And then we got a couple of little ones up here and up here. And I think we got a couple little tiny ones coming out through here and here. So you can have them as many as you want. And now what we'll do is wet our brush and we'll tap it off in your tissue. And then you're going to get some more paint, same colors, and you're just going to put the little ones on there. So you make another line off of that line and a line off of that line, and a line off of that line, and a line off of that line, and a line off of that line. There we go. So the ones that you already took out, just put a couple more little ones on there. Line and line and a line and a line and a line. There we go. So just take that twig that you already did and start putting the smaller ones on at the edges here. Tops. Oops. It's okay. We'll fix all that up. So there we got some of those twigs, and we'll do some more. So work on your twigs and just have some fun. You know, if you want to fast forward me, if you know, and you want to go to the next section, you can do that. So because I like to do it in real time, and that's the way I figure it. If you want to fast forward me, you can. But when you look at videos that are already fast forwarded, then you can't go back and look and see what you did or how they did it or what they're doing. And some people got lots of experience, they can figure it out. But if you're used to, you know, if you're not quite sure, then, because I want you to see everything I'm doing, every little thing. See? So fast forward me if I get you too bored. There we go. Little twig here, little twig there, little twig everywhere. There we go. So we got some nice little twigs going on there. And a couple more up here. Just bring it out. Another one out. There we go. Just these little tiny twigs. Now this brush here is not giving me this nice skinny lines that I like to get. But it's not too bad. So if your brushes, if the twigs are coming out too thick, go get a skinniest brush you can find. The skinniest. Okay? So I'm going to take this here and fill it in because the paint ran off, and give it a nice sharp little top on there. Just pull up that top. There we go. And then fill in the rest. Good. Just fill in the rest. Because we ran out of paint. You can shape up your tree whatever way you want. So let's go all the way to the top. Touch and pull. Touch and pull. Pull, pull, pull. There we go. On the edge here and on the edge there. Now, you can always adjust this. I'm doing a video, so I don't want to be poking and picking at one little thing, you know. And like I said, you can fast forward me, but I want to get on with stuff so that I don't forget to tell you certain things. So we'll just pull that on there, touch and pull in. You can make adjustments just by going over it a little bit. Alright, touch and pull. There we go. Now, let's see what the palette knife will do. Okay, so the palette knife, you take some white on your palette knife, just on the edge of your palette knife. I'm left-handed, so you might be doing it this way. So I'm just going to put and whatever edge you're going to use, just put a bit of white on there. And if you're right-handed, you'll probably be doing this, right? So you'll probably have your brush, your knife like this, and you'll have the paint on the right-hand side, and then you lean that edge up against the tree again, and you touch and pull it in, and touch. Oh, I'm gonna have to use my left hand. See, I can't do anything with my right hand. That's it. See that? See that? You just touch and pull it in. And touch, pull in, touch and pull in. See, the palette knife gives it different strokes, which makes it a little more, gives it interesting strokes. So that's why I like using that. So you do the first technique, and then you can do this one on top of it, okay? There we go. Let's do the other one. Touch and pull in. Oops. Touch. It was a little bit too much. Touch and pull in. Touch and pull in. It's hard to control your paint sometimes, especially when you're using the bottle paints. I find that they're a little harder to do. When you got the paints are really thick, like the tube paints. They're really thick, so they're good for this kind of technique. So we'll just put some white up there. I made a mistake. Okay, so let's go touch and pull in, touch and pull in. And you can even tap on a little bit if you want to get some. You just tap, touch and tap some on there if you like. That'll also give it another bit of a technique too. See, watch. Start at the edge and then touch and tap some on. That also gives it another bit of a technique. And then you can take it and move it around a little bit. And that'll give you some nice texture. There we go. Just move it around a little bit if you want. You don't have to. If you get it really nice, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, we'll just pretend that's gone up there. I don't know. I fooled it up. That's okay. That's okay. Alright, so we got the tree. We got some of the tree on there with the highlights. Now they don't look exactly like that, so what you can do is you can take your brush. If you got too much paint on there, take your flat brush and just put on some of your darker color again in here in the back or wherever you want to put it. Just move it around a little bit. Okay, so then if you got too much on, you can take your color that you did, and you can move it around so that you get the shapes that you want. Okay, and you know, just move it around with your brush. That way, if you, like I say, if it's too bright, you can always move it around, and then you get more of a tree. One's over here. Just tap anywhere, you know, just tap where you think it needs a bit of light. And then we might want to highlight our, so with that light green, with that color green and a bit of yellow, let's just take, tap, 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 on this edge here. Just very lightly with that bristle brush. And the bristle brush should do most of the work for you. All you gotta do is tap very gentle, okay? Very gentle. Just tap, tap, tap. And you come up and over, and you come over and over and over, and then you're going to, so you got a little more yellow to brighten up this edge up here, nice and bright. That's where the sun is shining up here. That's cool. Good, good. So we'll get over here underneath here. It looks nice and bright. We got to get some light going on. So we'll say the sun is over here. Chiseled edge, flat brush. So same deal, yellow on one side, green on the other. You don't need as much water this time because these brushes are a bit better. And this is what you're going to get. A little harder to control. So, as we can see, unless you're doing okay, unless you're okay with it, you can see that you can get better control with the liner brush. At least I do anyway, okay? So you try 3 different brushes and see which one is good for you and see which one you got better control over. Alright, so I'm just going over some of these over here to make them a bit taller, to make the other ones look shorter. There we go. And probably put some yellow over what you already got done. There we go. Good. Good, good, good. There we go. Some yellow. I wonder what light white would look like. I'm going to throw a little bit of white in with that. Oh, that's nice. A little bit of white and yellow is nice. White and yellow. There we go. Brighten up that edge there. Okay, so now if I, want to spend more time with it, I could make it even prettier. Maybe not. Let's put little small ones up here. Oh no, my brush is too wet. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this little teeny weeny itsy bitsy brush, this little teeny weeny one. It's round or it can be flat. And you're going to take some red on one side of that brush, some red on one side and white on the other. And then we're going to make those little red flowers in the grass. Okay, see those red flowers? Let's make those. Good. And then I think we might have one more video and I might be able to finish it in the next video. So let's take these and put them wherever you want them. So you just red side down, just touch. You can touch next to each other and touch. That's about it. Touch. Now, it's really difficult to get. All right. Let's see if we can get you to put on some of those flowers. So just touch with the red side down and the white side up, and then touch next to each other if you want bigger flowers. If you want some yellow in with that, go for it. And put a, let's see, how about one right here so you can see me. It's a nice little one. I'll leave that. A little one here. And maybe some over here. So we'll put some over here. Touch side by side, wherever you want them. Red on one side and white or yellow on the other side, or white and yellow on the other side. It doesn't matter. A couple more here. Just do one touch if you want small ones, and if you want little tiny ones, just barely touch. And then if you want the bigger one, touch. Oh, sorry. And so that's how you do that. So you have however many you want, wherever you want them. And then it's just a shadow. So if that's not dark enough, then add more blue and red. You want to get a really dark shadow. So just blue and red for now. And darken it up. There we go. That might be a bit better. Get that shadow in there. You can bring it as far over as you want. You can even bring it across your path if you wanted to. How about we do that? For a bit of fun? Just to make it look like it's coming over in the path. Right? So you can have as long as you want. There we go. So that's your shadow. Just me and my shadow. Alright, so I am going to let you go. And there's probably a few little touch-ups you could do, I suppose, if you wanted to. You want to do a few extra things. So that's the painting, and hopefully you like the Tenny. And I hope you learned. If you have a problem with anything, just let me know. You can also put a few little reflections from the trees down here, but I didn't bother with that. So that's it for now. So I hope you enjoyed this painting, and I'll see you in the next request, I guess. Send me some requests and I'll do my best to get them done for you. So this is Allison Pryor signing out. Happy painting.